All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The big news of the day, of course, the shakeup in the Trump campaign. And who better to talk about that than Sam Nunberg, former Trump campaign advisor. My friend, welcome to the show. So when you found out, whether you woke up this morning like me and found out about it, that Kellyanne Conway and Stephen Bannon are in, and Paul is probably bumped upstairs a little bit. What are your thoughts?
Well, look, on the one hand, it's always good to recognize that things aren't going well, and they certainly aren't going well right now in the polling. Although this is still a very winnable race, Steve, for Donald, and he could still beat Hillary at any point. It's not like he's facing Mother Teresa here, but they made a shakeup. Now, the one thing that concerns me personally is that, and from what I'm reading it publicly and from what I've heard privately, is the issue is: are the advisors going to tell Donald what he has to hear, or tell Donald what he wants to hear? And the one thing we know is this is not the primary anymore. We're not talking about a pool of 25 million Republican voters. We're talking about a pool of possibly 130 million voters across America, and we need to broaden out the message.
Well, who makes this decision, not to interrupt, who makes this decision to bring these people in? It's not like Donald Trump says, get me Steve Bannon, get me Kellyanne Conway. Are these the kids?
Well, what I heard is that Rebecca Mercer, the Mercer family, they've already cut a $500,000 check to the Trump campaign immediately after Donald got the nomination. And they're funding an anti-Hillary Clinton super PAC run by David Bossie, although they haven't spent a penny yet on ads on air. We're trying to suggest to bring Steve in. And Steve, I've worked with Steve closely.
I admire Steve. I think Steve does great work over at Breitbart.
And he's extremely creative, he's extremely hard-hitting, and he's extremely message-oriented. But what I do worry about Steve, for instance, and Breitbart in general, is they're kind of like a one-hit pony. And I can just tell you, having worked on other elections, having worked from primaries to generals in states, that's not a message that it's going to be able to win a general election.
No, but Donald has done none of the things I thought he would do and be the only one to do it. Bring up this on Hillary, bring out these people against Hillary, people who have been victimized by Bill, et cetera. Maybe Bannon could get that to happen. Anyway, I thank you. I know you had a lawsuit with Trump and you were involved.
Amicably settled, and I support Donald, and I hope he wins.
Good. Glad to hear it. Sam Nunberg, we'll have you back. Always good to talk to you, sir.
It's an honor.
No, the honor is mine. The pleasure is yours. The honor is mine.